Inside the grand hall, the large crowd erupted into cheers as Officer Daniel Carter made his way onto the stage with his police K-9, Rex, at his side. The ceremony was live broadcasted, and the mayor stood at the podium, smiling as he prepared to present the esteemed Medal of Valor. This was a moment of honor, a recognition of the bravery displayed by Daniel and Rex during a high-profile drug raid that had resulted in the capture of one of the country's most dangerous cartel leaders. Rex, a highly trained German shepherd, walked alongside his handler, but as they approached the stage, he suddenly halted. His ears perked up and his dark brown eyes scanned the environment. His tail wagged slightly, yet something was off about his demeanor. Dressed sharply in his police uniform, Daniel felt the familiar tug of the leash and glanced down. "Easy, buddy," he murmured. The mayor cleared his throat to address the crowd. "Ladies and gentlemen, today we honor two true heroes, Officer Daniel Carter and his loyal K-9 partner, Rex. Their extraordinary courage in the line of duty has saved countless lives and dismantled a significant criminal operation." The applause was thunderous, and Daniel smiled as he affectionately patted Rex's head. The dog had been his partner for 5 years, forging an unbreakable bond, but as they neared the podium, Rex abruptly stopped. His body stiffened, ears pointed forward, and a low growl rumbled from his throat. Daniel tensed immediately. Rex was not aggressive unless danger was present. Meanwhile, the audience continued clapping, unaware of the change in the atmosphere. Daniel gave a gentle tug on the leash, but Rex remained immovable. Instead, the dog's growl grew deeper, his sharp gaze fixed on someone or something in the crowd. The mayor hesitated, glancing at Daniel in confusion. "Is everything all right, Officer Carter?" Daniel forced a smile, yet his instincts kicked in. "Rex doesn't react like this without reason," he thought as he scanned the audience, following the dog's line of sight to a man in the third row seated in a black suit, perfectly still. Unlike the rest of the clapping crowd, this man wasn't applauding, nor was he smiling. Rex took a step forward, hackles raised, causing Daniel to tighten his grip on the leash. Something was certainly amiss. The man in the suit noticed the attention on him and stood up abruptly. At that moment, Rex lunged forward, prompting gasps from the crowd. Daniel quickly pulled back on the leash, halting the dog just inches away from the audience. The man stepped back, and Daniel briefly saw fear flicker across his face. That fleeting look confirmed Daniel's suspicion. He recognized it as the expression of a guilty man. "Sir," Daniel barked, "stay where you are." In an instant, the man bolted, and Daniel pursued, releasing Rex with a single command. "Go!" The German shepherd leaped into action, weaving with precision through the startled audience. The mayor and other officials scrambled away from the commotion as Daniel jumped off the stage, chasing after his K-9. Security personnel reacted, but too slowly. The man in the suit was already heading for the exit. However, Rex was faster, tackling the suspect just as he reached the doors and knocking him to the ground. Daniel caught up in seconds, pinning the man's arm behind his back. "Got him!" he shouted. Security rushed forward to assist while the audience, now murmuring in confusion, remained seated as law enforcement flooded the area. Daniel searched the man, and his breath caught when he discovered something cold and metallic tucked beneath the suit jacket, a gun. He pulled the weapon free and locked eyes with the mayor, who looked on in shock from the stage. "This man is armed!" Daniel called out, raising the weapon for the officials to see. Gasps rippled through the audience as the security team quickly restrained the suspect. Once they hauled him to his feet, Daniel turned to one of the nearby officers. "Who is he?" One of the security guards swiftly checked the man's ID, heavy silence falling before he looked up in horror. "Sir, this man isn't on our guest list. We don't even know how he got in." Daniel's blood ran cold. If Rex hadn't reacted, if the ceremony had continued as planned, the realization hit everyone at once. This man had come here with a purpose, and it wasn't to celebrate heroism. The suspect remained silent, his jaw clenched as he stared at Daniel and Rex, his eyes reflecting anger that his plan had failed. The ensuing investigation uncovered the full truth. The man was an associate of the very drug cartel that Daniel and Rex had taken down. He had infiltrated the ceremony with a singular objective: revenge. His plan had been to assassinate the officer responsible for dismantling their operations. The Medal of Valor ceremony had appeared to be the perfect opportunity: a crowded room, a public event, a moment when Daniel would be stationary on stage. However, what he hadn't accounted for was Rex, the loyal K9 who sensed that something was off before anyone else did. Whether it was the man's body language, his scent, or something deeper, Rex had known, and due to that instinct, he had halted the ceremony just in time. The media celebrated Rex as a hero once again, and this time his name made national headlines. The mayor ensured the dog received his own medal alongside Daniel. The crowd cheered even louder as the German Shepherd proudly accepted it, his tail wagging while Daniel knelt beside him. Looking into his partner's intelligent brown eyes, the officer knew one thing for certain: Rex wasn't just a trained police dog, he was family. The moral of the story is that loyalty and intuition can save lives. Sometimes, instincts can perceive danger before logic does. Trusting the bond between partners, whether human or animal, can be the difference between life and death.